शिव शंकर भोले भाने भोले, भक्तों के रखवाने तुमको लाखों प्रणाम, तुमको मेरा प्रणाम। शिव शंकर भोले भाने भोले, भक्तों के रखवाने तुमको लाखों प्रणाम, तुमको मेरा प्रणाम। तुमने संसार बनाया, सभी तुम्हारी माया छाया। तुमने संसार बनाया, सभी तुम्हारी माया छाया। सांपों की माला वाले, कैलाश पर्वत वाले तुमको लाखों प्रणाम, तुमको मेरा प्रणाम। शिव शंकर भोले भाने भोले, भक्तों के रखवाने तुमको लाखों प्रणाम, तुमको मेरा प्रणाम। तुम जल थल में, तुम अंबर में, तुम हो नगर नगर घर घर में। तुम जल थल में, तुम अंबर में, तुम हो नगर नगर घर घर में। तुम हो लहर लहर स्वर स्वर में, कहा नहीं तुम हो जग भर में। डमरू को बजाने वाले, दुष्टों को मिटाने वाले तुमको लाखों प्रणाम, तुमको मेरा प्रणाम। शिव शंकर भोले भाने भोले, भक्तों के रखवाने तुमको लाखों प्रणाम, तुमको मेरा प्रणाम। हर हर महादेव का नारा, नर नारी घर घर का प्यारा। हर हर महादेव का नारा, नर नारी घर घर का प्यारा। दीप तुम्हारा, तेल तुम्हारा, दुनिया का सब खेल तुम्हारा। ये खेल खिलाने वाले, त्रिभुवन को बचाने वाले तुमको लाखों प्रणाम, तुमको मेरा प्रणाम। शिव शंकर भोले भाने भोले, भक्तों के रखवाने तुमको लाखों प्रणाम, तुमको मेरा प्रणाम। शिव शंकर भोले भाने भोले, भक्तों के रखवाने तुमको लाखों प्रणाम, तुमको मेरा प्रणाम। तुम लाखों
बोले गणपति भगवान की जय। नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव। वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबिके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्र प्रचोदयात्। ॐ वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचानूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। श्री राम राम रघुनंदन राम राम श्री राम राम भरताग्रज राम राम श्री राम राम रनकर्कश राम राम श्री राम राम शरणं भव राम राम। अतुलित बलधामं हेमशैलावदेहं धनुजवन कृशानुं ज्ञानिनां मृगगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशम् रघुपति प्रिय भक्तं वातजातं नमामि। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय। हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय। हर बोले नमः शिवाय।
सोमेश्वरा शिव सोमेश्वरा हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
सोमेश्वरा शिव सोमेश्वरा हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय।
सोमेश्वरा शिव सोमेश्वरा हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
सोमेश्वरा शिव सोमेश्वरा हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय। ओम
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय।
नागेन्द्रहाराय त्रिलोचनाय भस्माङ्गरागाय महेश्वराय। नागेन्द्रहाराय त्रिलोचनाय भस्माङ्गरागाय
महेश्वराय
नित्याय शुद्धाय दिगम्बराय तस्मै नकाराय नमः
शिवाय।
तस्मै नकाराय नमः शिवाय। तस्मै नकाराय
नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय
शंभो
नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय।
मंदाकिनी सलिल चंदन चर्चिताय नंदीश्वर प्रमथनाथ महेश्वराय मंदार पुष्प बहुपुष्प सुपूजिताय तस्मै मकराय नमः शिवाय शिवाय गौरी वदनार वृन्द सूर्याय दक्षाध्वरनाशकाय श्रीनीलकण्ठाय वृषध्वजाय तस्मै शिकाराय नमः शिवाय वशिष्ठकुम्भोद्भव गौतमार्य मुनीन्द्रदेवार्चितशेखराय चन्द्रार्कवैश्वानरलोचनाय तस्मै वकाराय नमः शिवाय यक्षस्वरूपाय जटाधराय पिनाकहस्ताय सनातनाय दिव्याय देवाय दिगंबराय तस्मै यकाराय नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय
हर हर भोले
नमः शिवाय
ओम
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
जटातवीकलज्ज्वल प्रवाह पावितस्थले शंभो जटातवीकलज्ज्वल प्रवाह पावितस्थले गले वलम्बलम्बितं भुजङ्गतुङ्गमालिका जटातवीकलज्ज्वल प्रवाह पावितस्थले गले वलं विलम्बितं भुजङ्गतुङ्गमालिका तम 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 दिनादमर्वयं चकार चन्द्रताण्डवं तनोतु न शिवा शिवं तनोतु न शिवा शिवं तनोतु न शिवा ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय
नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय
हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय हर हर भोले
नमः शिवाय
कर्पूर गौरम करुणावतारम संसार सारम भुजगेन्द्रहारम सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि नमः पार्वती पतये कालहर दुख हर दारिद्र हर 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 महादेव शंभो उमापति महादेव की पवन सुत हनुमान की सियाभज रामचंद्र की राधा कृष्ण भगवान की जगदम्बिका माता की जय नंदिकेश्वर महाराज की जय। ओम today is, does anyone know what today is? Amavasya. Today is Amavasya. 2 weeks after Purnima is Amavasya. And 2 weeks after Amavasya is 2 weeks after Purnima is Amavasya, and 2 weeks after Amavasya is Purnima. That's a cycle, every 2 weeks. Waning and waxing of the moon. Today is a very auspicious day for us to give thanks to Bhagwan in the name of our ancestors, not only in today, but every Amavasya. It's a very auspicious day for the departed. So let us chant this. Let's do this chant to Bhagwan. Ashitosh Shankar, Ashitosh Shashanka Shekhar Chandramauli Chidambara, Koti Koti Pranama Shambhu, Koti Naman Dikambara. Prabhu, we bow to you today and we remember our ancestors. Why is it important to remember those who have departed? The Hindu tradition have told us that when someone dies, the Atma lives forever. Pitra are those who have passed on. They are never dead. Their Atma lives on. And when a person is alive, yes, maybe if they're great enough or if they have accumulated enough penance in their life, they can bless you. Right? Automatically, your mother and father have the ability to bless you. Guru has the ability to bless you automatically. But every other person, you have to accumulate merits in your life. To do penance, tapasya, to accumulate this, to give it to someone. Remember, you can't give what you don't have. But when our ancestors die, when they leave, what happens? They become Pitra Devo Bhava. Pitra Devo, they are like the Devatas. Their blessings are equal to the Devatas. That is why we do Shravan. That is why Hindus engage in ancestral work. Doesn't matter you're a man or woman or otherwise, you have the right to reflect on your Pitris because they're Devo Bhava. I have experienced this firsthand to tell you that Devo Bhava, they are gods. Yes, they may not have a lot or they may have a lot to give you alive, but when they have gone, they will either give you Pitridosha. You know what Pitridosha is, everybody? I've spoken much about that in our temple. Pitridosha is when you're cursed by your ancestors. There was an old saying when somebody did something wrong long ago, and somebody would tell them, boy, your father is probably turning in his grave. Y'all ever hear that? Or your mother is turning in his grave. It meant that must have had to do something really wrong. It's called Pitridosha. And I only can relate to myself because I don't like to use people. I think maybe 100 steps ahead before I make a decision personally in my life because I want to make sure that it is in line with my mother and father. They were very strict people, simple people, and I know how much it meant for me to stay on the path. And I know what it would mean to them if I did well, and what it would do to them if I fall off. So never ever offend your ancestors. Unfortunately, a lot of people think that because someone dies, they have a freedom now to do whatever they want in this world without being penalized for it. I've got news for you if you think like that. That's not how it works. That is when you either can ascend or you can degenerate. Pitridosha is nothing fun. When you are cursed by your ancestors, you better have some strong gods by your side. And none of them are powerful as the ancestors. So, it is our prayer today. Koti Koti Pranama Shambhu, Koti Namana Dikambara. We give you millions and millions and millions of thanks and namana and namaskara from the Atma, O Bhagwan Mahadev, and ask that you bless our ancestors, bless our Pitris. On this day of Amavasya, we'll talk a little bit about the waning and the waxing of the moon, and ask that you bestow blessings upon our ancestors. We are who we are today because of them. Many of you, or a few of you, may not even know your grandparents. I don't know my grandparents. I've never met them. But today I am who I am because of their sadhana, their prayers, and their tapasya, their sacrifice. We are who I am today because of my mother and father. They did not have much, but they ensured that I had what was needed. So let us take a moment and pray and thank all our ancestors. Give Bholinath Bhagwan Koti Koti Namana Digambara. This is called Ashutosh Ashtakam. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. आशुतोष शशांक शेखर चंद्रमौलि चिदंबरा कोटि कोटि प्रणाम शंभो कोटि नमन दिगंबरा कोटि नमन दिगंबरा निर्विकारोंकार अविनाशी तुम्ही देवादिदेव जगत सरचत प्रलय करता शिवम सत्यम सुंदरम
शिवम सत्यम सुंदरम
ओम नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय
निरंकार स्वरूप कालेश्वर महायोगेश्वरा दयानिधि दानीश्वरा जय जटाधर अभयंकरा जय जटाधर अभयंकरा शूलपाणि त्रिशूलधारी और घरी माघम भरी जय महेश त्रिलोचनाय विश्वनाथ विशंभरा
विश्वनाथ विशंभरा
ओम नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय
नाथ नागेश्वर हरो हर पाप श्राप विशाप दो महादेव महान बोले सदा शिव शिव शंकरा सदा शिव शिव शंकरा जगतपति अनुरक्ति भक्ति सदैव तेरे चरण हो क्षमा हो अपराध सब जय जय जयति जगदीश्वरा जय जय जयति जगदीश्वरा ओम नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय
जन्म जीवन जगत का संताप मीरे ते सभी ओम नमः शिवाय मन जपता रहे पंचाक्षरा जपता रहे
पंचाक्षरा
आशुतोष शशांक शेखर
चंद्रमौलि चिदंबरा कोटि कोटि प्रणाम शंभो कोटि नमन दिगंबरा कोटि नमन दिगंबरा
ओम नमः शिवाय जगतपति अनुरक्त भक्ति सदैव तेरे चरण हो क्षमा हो अपराध सब. Forgive us and forgive them, O Lord. It's a special prayer for our ancestors. Forgive them and forgive us, O Lord. Kshama ho aparad sab. Jaya Jaya Jayati Jagadishwara. To you, O Prabhu, we bow and give you thanks and ask for your kshama and for whatever aparad we have done to them or to us. Aparad means offense. Please forgive us all. Bole Mahadeva ki Jai. Our ancestors' blessings are important to bring many things in our life, including happiness. Today, before we start our katha, what I'm going to do now is give you a mini katha before the katha. It's a katha before the katha. It's a katha katha. So this is about happiness. We have to be happy every day. Beyond happiness, there is nothing. When we are happy, then no matter if the rain falls, the sunshine, work, no work, whatever it has come in our life, whenever there is happiness, we will be constant, sthir. There are three types of happiness according to the Gita. Let's give you the bad news first. Remember, people ask you, you want the good news or you want the bad news? In my view, news is news. There is no good news, there is no bad news. It's your ability to interpret or to handle what is given to you. Your bad news may be somebody else's good news or just news. There is just news. What? Let's deal with the worst type of happiness first. Tamasic happiness. Tama means very dark, very destructive. Tamasic happiness. Yagdagre chanubandhe cha sukan mohan matmana nidralasya pramadotham tathama samudahritam. Chapter 18, verse 39. Bhagwan Shri Krishna explains to Arjun, the worst type of happiness is called tamasic happiness. What is this tamasic happiness? Yadadre chanu bandhe cha. Now let's talk about this. What happiness is when you're enjoying something, right? No matter what, no matter what, if it's good for your body, you just enjoy. Or as we say in Guyana, enjoy yourself. You're just enjoying yourself, right? Three types. The worst type of happiness is tamasic happiness. That happiness which deludes the self both at the beginning and at the end, and which arises from sleep, sloth, miscomprehension, that is declared to be tamasic happiness. Gita tells us a person derives happiness, or this type of happiness, from intoxicants that make them forget the miseries of the world temporarily. Question was asked to me once, Panditji, you're a happy guy. I said, very happy in all aspects of life. Personal, home, here, I'm always happy. He says, I'm happy too, but I don't pray to God. I said, good for you. I am praying to God so many hours a day, not to be happy, but it's just because I'm happy. But this guy don't pray to God at all, and he's very happy. I said, very good. So he said, my happiness is fun. Your happiness seems a bit boring and laborious. I says, I don't know about boring. Maybe it takes a lot of time, but I enjoy doing it. He says, well, look at that. You have to be disciplined, you have to be courteous, you have to be cordial, you have to keep yourself this and then do not eat that and not to be happy. I don't have to do, actually I do all of the thing reverse and I'm still happy. How is this possible? I say, it is possible. It is possible. But you think of it this way. Here's pretty much how I explained to him. You can be happy doing opposite of what I do, and I can be happy doing opposite of what you do. The difference with my happiness and yours is This path that I'm on, whatever comes in my way, death, disaster, sorrows, fear, letdown, stab in the back, ungratefulness, whatever path comes in my life and this path, I will remain happy. I will remain happy. And if not, I go to the source of my happiness and I get my happiness. Your path is your pile. You know pile mean? Pile. Hari Naam ka pyala. Pile means to drink. We are all drinking. I am drinking the nectar of God's name, but you are drinking something else. This is not against anybody who drink. All right, I'm just telling you. I find happiness, and when I don't, I go to my source and He gives me happiness. But in the other part, when death comes, when sorrows come, you will go and drown yourself in your source, which is the bottle. And that is not the way. A man derives happiness from intoxicants that make him forget the miseries of the world temporarily. All of those who have this book, Bhagavad Gita, my version, Chidbhavananda, chapter 18, verse 39, mark it off, 18:39. You go back to the source of that happiness, and it makes you forget about the world temporarily. Temporarily. As you are in the moment, intoxicating yourself, you find that you're the highest, but you don't get problem no more. Only to wake up back with a headache and know that the same problem exists there. That is called tamasic happiness. It is short-lived, right? It is short-lived. I have a lot of good friends. You know, they drink and they're not vegetarians. They're good people. They don't live in the bottle, and they don't live around the bottle. Maybe they do it socially. And they're decent, ordinary, good human beings, right? But if you find happiness with that, then that's a bit of a problem. That's tamasic happiness. Rajasic happiness, now, Bhagavan tells us. We're going backward. The thing is written in the Gita in the opposite way. It gives you sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. But I'm giving you the bad things first. Rajasic. Vishayendriya samyoga dhyadagre mritopamam pariname vishamivaha tatsukham rajasam smritam. That happiness which arises from the contact of the senses and the objects, and which like nectar at first but poison at the end, it is held to be rajasic. Rajasic, remember? The nose smell the delicious food. The nose, the contact of the senses. The nose says, this is not enough. I'm going to invite my closest neighbor, the mouth. Go, mouth, go taste. The mouth can't move. The mouth can't do nothing. The mouth can only talk, which is a big disaster. The mouth sends a message to the brain. The brain sends a message to the foot. The foot starts to move towards. And you say, unless I eat everything I see here and taste everything here, I will not be happy. And you eat, and you eat, and you eat. And at the end of it, you say, boy, this 7 curry proper heavy. 7 curry not heavy. Your stomach can only hold so much food. Huh? Stomach can only hold so much food. It's 7 curry. We got to blame someone or something. And if we don't blame someone or something, we are not happy. So what happened? We follow the senses. It tastes so nice that you cannot stop eating. 7 curry is not bad, but please eat it responsibly. And so what happens? Something I remember too is most people eat 7 curry 2-3 times a year. When a pandit refuses 7 curry, please respect it. Because then guy eat it every weekend, midweek, whole place they got it. We got nothing good. That's why the only thing I demand, I've never demanded anything. I've never in my life demanded dakshina. I've never demanded gifts. I have never demanded anything from people. 30 years I've been doing this. 30 years, since I was 14. I have never set a fee, never demanded anything from people. The only thing I demand now is what I wish to eat. Yeah? I tell people I want a salad. They may vex with me. If they vex with me, I won't eat. But that's how it is. You got to change lifestyles to suit yourself. Rajasic is when the senses engage. You know what the senses is? It's like you get a little itch from your skin, right? And you just itch it. And somebody, you see a smile like this, and you say, it feels so nice, right? Amazing. Oh. And then when you're done, you're left with a rash on your hand. Big rash on your hand. Or sometimes your ears are itching you, and you take a feather, a bird feather or a dog feather, and you're itching the ears. Oh, I'm going to talk about that. And you're having a good time. Oh boy, it feels so nice. And when you're done, there's a bird nest in your ears. Yeah, right? I think a lot of people are guilty of that. But that is what it is. When you gain happiness by engaging your senses, and you say, I'm going to be happy only when I engage my senses, Rajasic happiness, not good for you. Going to last a little bit, at the end it's going to feel like poison. But the Lord says, Sattvic happiness, Yadagre Vishamiva Pariname Amritopamam Parinamrito Amritopamam Tatsukham Satvikam Proktam Atma Buddhim Prasadajam. This one here is for all the school children. I think this is applicable to everybody. That which is at poison at first, it tastes like poison at first, but it's like nectar at the end. It's a total opposite of seven curry. It's like you're eating, the long thing name I eat like this. Huh? Huh? Or, you know, like a lettuce or a salad without dressing or something like that. And you're like, you gotta chew that. It tastes like quite dry and you go down. But at the end, it's good for the body. That would taste like poison at first, but is like nectar at the end. You ask any school children who's serious about school, who goes through university, who just finished summer school, when they're going through that, you know, how many units in 1 month for something like physics, and they just finished, and they got good marks. The first few days, a few weeks, they're burning, it tastes like poison. What am I doing? Is this even good for me? But at the end, they're celebrating with awesome scores. That's called sattvic happiness. Tastes like poison at first, but it is nectar at the end. When we did 24-hour Hanuman Chalisa here, 24-hour Mrityunjaya Homam, you know what when we started Hanumanji Chalisa, we started 12 midnight. 12 midnight and we finished 12. When I finished the Hanumanji Chalisa 12:07 in the morning, and 4 people sit down there, I asked myself, Bap re Bap, what did I get myself into? 4 people sit down there, 12:07 in the morning, I finished the first one, and we got to do that for 24 hours. Poison. But at the end, you finish the 24-hour chant, you feel so nice, uplifted, accomplished, that you have done something good. That is called sattvic happiness. Poison at the front, but nectar at the end. In summary of this today, Krishna Bhagavan tells Arjuna, hey Arjun, there is no being on this earth, na tadasvi pratavyam va divi deveshu cha punaha. There is no being on this earth or again in the heavens among the devatas that is liberated from the 3 gunas, from the 3 sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. No being on the earth or none in the heaven that is liberated for any one of them. Don't feel too bad, but we are all victims of the gunas. That is how it is. Now, talking about happiness and pleasing the senses, let us talk about today and how this means to us. Chandrasekhar Bhagavan, the crescent moon, on this very auspicious day of Amavasya. चंद्रशेखराय नमः गंगाधराय नमः चंद्रशेखराय नमः चंद्रशेखराय नमः ओ गंगाधराय नमः गंगाधराय नमः ओम नमः शिवाय नमः ओम नमः शिवाय नमः हर हर हराय नमः हर हर हराय नमः शिव शिव शिवाय नमः
शिव शिव शिवाय नमः
ओ गंगाधराय नमः
गंगाधराय नमः
ओ गंगाधराय नमः
गंगाधराय नमः
चंद्रशेखराय नमः
चंद्रशेखराय नमः
गंगाधराय नमः
गंगाधराय नमः
चंद्रशेखराय नमः
चंद्रशेखराय नमः
गंगाधराय नमः
गंगाधराय नमः
ओम नमः शिवाय नमः
ओम नमः शिवाय नमः
ओम नमः शिवाय नमः ओम नमः शिवाय नमः ओम नमः शिवाय नमः
ओम नमः शिवाय नमः
ओ गंगाधराय नमः
गंगाधराय नमः
चंद्रशेखराय नमः
चंद्रशेखराय नमः
चंद्रशेखराय नमः
चंद्रशेखराय
ओ गंगाधराय नमः
गंगाधराय नमः
ओम नमः शिवाय नमः
ओम नमः शिवाय नमः
ओ हर हर हराय नमः
हर हर हराय नमः
शिव शिव शिवाय नमः
शिव शिव शिवाय नमः
हर हर हराय नमः
हर हर हराय नमः
गंगाधराय नमः
गंगाधराय नमः
ओ चंद्रशेखराय नमः
चंद्रशेखराय नमः
चंद्रशेखराय नमः
चंद्रशेखराय नमः
गंगाधराय नमः
गंगाधराय नमः
ओ गंगाधराय नमः
गंगाधराय नमः
ओ गंगाधराय नमः बोले चंद्रशेखर भगवान की जय। Chandrasekhar, the one with the crescent on his head, the crescent moon on his head. How did this happen? How did he have the crescent moon on his head? I hope you remember this katha. It's very beautiful. And it talks about the coming of the first lingam on this earth. Jyotisham chaiva linganam mahatmyam kathayadhunah utpatitam cha tatha tesham brohi sarvam yathaschutam. The rishis. Our dharma is a result, our scriptures are a result of questions and answers. There's a time when people sat in the audience and they would ask questions, and the rishis or the officiating people would give responses. The rishis ask a question. They said, "Hey Sutta," anybody who know who's Suji? Suji? Huh? Okay. They asked Suji, the renowned, the son of Vyasa, that tell us about the Jyotirlingams. All of them, we want to hear about them. Suji Maharaj says, well, O great ones, the genesis of the Jyotirlingam and their glory had been heard from me, by me from my preceptor, Vyasa, and I shall repeat the same briefly to all of you. He said, O excellent sages, let me tell you about the Jyotirlingams. Even in hundreds of years, we cannot speak of the greatness of the Jyotirlingams. However, I will tell you about them now, and he talks about the first one, Somanatha. And he says that whoever in this life listens to this katha, then they become purified. Dukham cha durate yati sukhamatnyatmikam labet. So call all your friends and so tell them they can listen to this katha, they'll be purified. It's important. What did he say? Once upon a time, Sapta Vishantamitam Kanya Saptam Vishan Mitah Kanya Dakshena cha Mahatmana Chandramase Datashvin Yadhya Munishwara. To get the verses properly, because we have some real Gyani watching this program. No Gyani, Ken? You're not real Gyani watching this program? Them go, boy, their eyes are like hawks, and their ears, I don't know what it is, but you gotta get it right. Sapta Vishanmita Kanya Dakshena cha Mahat Mana. Daksha was the son of Brahma. Daksha was the son of Brahma. And what happened? When he was given the power to overlook the world, to describe him, he had 27 daughters. They were called the nakshatras, the planets. In the Hindu astrology system, we have 27 nakshatras. Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, Purvabhadrapad, Uttarabhadrapad, and all of them. Anyways, all of them have a great significance. Every person, when they are born under a nakshatra. And depending on the nakshatra or the planet you're born under, you're given a name according to the syllable. A nakshatra, a planet, rules over a certain time in every day. They don't start 6 in the morning and finish 6 the next day. When a person is born, right, the child is born, depending on the prahar or the pada of that nakshatra, like a nakshatra is divided into 4 as well. So it runs about every 6 hours. Depending on the pada, on which quarter the child is born in, that quarter has a syllable, like chuchi, chola, rure, rola, and things like that. So if you're born, for example, in Punarvasu Nakshatra, Meen Rasi, like I was born under, your name will start with Ha, Punarvasu Nakshatra. I made a promise and I will fulfill this promise. Everyone in our chanting group, I will check for you your Janma Nakshatra and your Janma Rashi. It's very important. If you go to South India, not North, nothing is wrong with North India, but I think I'm more of a South Indian than a North Indian. If you go to South India and you want to do a puja, even if you go to the temple, if you haven't, you go to the temple and you give Panditji the right dakshina, then they will do a little puja for you and they'll ask you right there your Janma Nakshatra, your name, your birth star and your birth Rashi. Janam Nam, Janma Nakshatra and Janma Rashi. If you sometimes give them your name and your name properly, they can tell you, I can even do that. If you give me your name, I can tell you which planet and which Rashi you're born under, but the name had to have been named accordingly. Long story short, very important. A person is given a name because, whatever time they're born in that day. So each nakshatra, each of the stars, they have features as well, right? They have certain powers. I was telling you the other day, Swati Nakshatra. When you do anything under Swati Nakshatra, a religious work, right? You are bound to gain merits under Swati Nakshatra, right? If you do things under Kritika Nakshatra though, Kritika, remember Kritika rhymes with critical. Kritika Nakshatra, critical. It's not a pleasant Rashi, Nakshatra, to do punya, like good, pujas and things. Of course, there is always a good time to pray, but you want to maximize your merits. Kritika Nakshatra, not good one. Balaji, he's asleep. So this is, you got to understand these little things. For the record, I do not practice astrology. I'm just teasing you a little bit. So what will happen? When you're born under one of these as well, like I was born under Punarvasu Nakshatra, Mithun Rasi. That's Ramchandra Bhagavan. Those who are born under Punarvasu Nakshatra, you give them a little in life and they'll make the most out of it. That is one of their features. You give them a little, like him, give him the jungle, he'll make the palace out of it. You give him a piece of roti, he can share it among the audience. Not only Jesus Christ can do that, such people can do that too. People who are born in Rohini Nakshatra. Rohini Nakshatra is the most beautiful among all the 27 nakshatras. Those people who are born in Rohini Nakshatra, beautiful. Krishna, right? August 18th. Janmashtami, Rohini Nakshatra. Naturally, they're going to work for it, they're beautiful. Vrinda was born under Rohini Nakshatra. I think she's pretty. And so on. All of them have their features. Now what happens? Daksha had all these 27 constellations, these daughters, and all of them were married to Chandrama, the moon god. They were all married to the moon god. So Daksha goes to the moon god, and he said to them, achieving the moon as their lord, all of them felt graceful, of course. Lekin sarvaswapi chapatneshu rohini namaya smritaha yathaikha sa priya sa cha sitya sthanya cha kadachanaha. Among all of them, the Puran says, sarvaswapi, among all of them, Patneshu Rohini Nama Yasmrita. He loved the one that was most beautiful. Daksha told him, you're going to marry all 27 daughters, the stars, but you have to love all of them equal. The moon says, okay. But then he fell more in love with, who is the most beautiful star? What's the name? Huh? Rohini. Rohini Nakshatra. He fell in love with the most beautiful of all of them, Rohini Nakshatra. And he loved her more, he cared for her more, that Nakshatra. When there is full moon and there is Rohini Nakshatra, oh boy, that's a different world. Anyways, Daksha went to him, and Daksha says, wait. I warned you, because all the daughters went now and they complained that, Moon loved all of them more than me. Moon loved Rohini more than all of us. So what's going to happen? Daksha goes to the moon again, and the moon, of course, he tells the moon, Are he Chandrama, Chandropi valavriddhavim vivan mene na tadchakaha rohinyam cha samastako nanyam mene kadachana. The moon, he told the moon, I warned you that you must love all my daughters the same. And what happened? The moon did not listen to him again. And what did he do? Devarshaya yada sarve kim karyam ha katham bhavet iti dukkham samapanna bihlaya yabhramannave. And what he did, he ushered a curse on the moon. He ushered a shrap on Chandrama, the moon god. The same moon, this one here. He said, I'm going to curse you. That from now on, at this moment, within a month, you're going to slowly die. You're going to slowly die. And all of my daughters will become widows, but at least they will have no one to complain about. What a curse. When the daughters heard this, when they heard this, they all prayed, because the moon started to die. The moon was cursed now that he's going to die. And now he wondered, how am I going to remove this ailment from my life? How am I going to remove this curse from my life? How am I going to defeat death? Because no one can defeat death. How am I going to defeat death? And so what happens now? He was advised. Prabhasake shubhe kshetre vraje chandra sadevate Shiva maradhaye tatra mrityunjaya vidhanatah mrityunjaya vidhanatah. And so he was advised, he was given a formula to now use and to get to the Lord. But before we give you that formula, Mere Bholenath, Mere Bholenath. This is Bholenath. As we say every day, this is mine, this is yours, my daughter, my son, my parent, my this. Let us say as well, Mere Bholenath. Everybody in line? I want you to say, Mere Bholenath. And you can say it by, of course, typing it in. Everybody in the mandir here say, Mere Bholenath. Mere Bholenath. Mere Bholenath. This is saying, my Bholenath, my Bholenath, my Bholenath. Because we have to own him. While he has no mother, he has no father, he has no children, we have to all own him. Because in the reality, my friends of life, then he is the only one that's going to be there for all of us. Mere Bholenath, 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 Mere जाता तू होवे जीवे साथ, उतर जाता तू होवे जीवे साथ, मेरे भोलेनाथ, मेरे भोलेनाथ, मेरे भोलेनाथ, मेरे भोलेनाथ। शंभो भक्तों के बालक तुम हो, तीन लोक के भगतन के बालक तुम हो। तेरी जय जयकार होवे होवे दीननाथ, तेरे जय जयकार होवे होवे दीननाथ। मेरे भोलेनाथ, मेरे भोलेनाथ, मेरे भोलेनाथ, मेरे भोलेनाथ। मस्ती दे विच रंगे दुनिया नु खोल ले, प्यार दे करना सारे भगतों की खोल रे। मस्ती दे विच रंगे दुनिया नु खोल ले, प्यार दा के दरना सारे भगतों ने खोल है। तेरे कदम छे आवे होवे पूरे आज, तेरे कदम छे होवे पूरे आज। मेरे भोलेनाथ, मेरे भोलेनाथ, मेरे भोलेनाथ,
मेरे भोलेनाथ।
शंभो। कण कण विच प्रभु तू ही समाया रे, तेरे भगतों तो तेरा कदमों ने आया है। कण कण विच प्रभु तू ही समाया रे, तेरा भगतों तेरा कदमों से आया रे। मेरे भोले रजहारी पूरे ये जी बन जाए हार, रजहारी पूरी ये जी बन जाए हार। मेरे भोलेनाथ, मेरे भोलेनाथ, मेरे भोलेनाथ, मेरे
भोलेनाथ।
ओ मेरे भोलेनाथ, मेरे भोलेनाथ, मेरे
भोलेनाथ, मेरे भोलेनाथ।
ओ होयु तुर जाता तू होवे जीवे साथ, होयु तर जाता तू होवे जीवे साथ। मेरे भोलेनाथ, मेरे भोलेनाथ, मेरे भोलेनाथ, मेरे भोलेनाथ। बोलो मेरे भोलेनाथ, 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 मेरे भोलेनाथ। भोलेनाथ भगवान की जय हो। Apparently there's a couple of people watching from Punjab, so they requested a Punjabi bhajan. I don't know, I don't speak Punjabi, but I know one or two. This one, मस्ती दे विच रंगे दुनिया नु खोल रे, प्यार दा के दरना सारे भगतों ने खोले। तेरी कदम छे आवे होवे पूरी आश। Punjabi, I hope I've done justice to the bhajan, but smooth, nice, eh? I like it too. कण कण विच प्रभु, कण कण विच प्रभु तू ही समाया रे, तेरे भगतों तेरा कदमों छे आया रे। It's an old song I have many years ago. We used to sing an old temple thing, but it talks about my Bholenath, na? My Bholenath, and how we can become close to him. No matter what we become close to in life, we should never forget him. Accept everyone as your friend, as your companion, but never let him go. Now, if you have a desire for me to sing a little bhajan for you tonight, I can do that as well. You can just type it in the comment section. And if I know it only, I will sing it, obviously, because I'm not really a singer. I just have good musicians. Bholenath Bhagavan ki, moon god is dying. Moon god is dying now, and what has to happen? They have to pray for him to defeat death. There is no one on this planet who can defeat death. We can't. Last week, Friday, I read about the power of faith and destiny, that we all have in us destiny. Destiny is there for us. We cannot escape it. We don't know what is written for us. We don't know what is written there for us. So we cannot escape what we don't know. Death is something that we have not been able to escape. But at least we can live life knowing that there is someone who cares for us, and that is Bholenath. The moon god was advised, Prabhasake shubhe kshetre vraje chandra sadaivate Shivamaradhaye tatra mrityunjaya vidhanataha. In case the moon god goes to Prabhakshar Kshetra, which is an auspicious place of worship, and worship Shiva according to the method of Mrityunjaya Puja. Mrityunjaya mantra and Mrityunjaya Puja are two different things. When you do an entire puja using Mahamrityunjaya mantra, that is called Mrityunjaya Puja. The mantra sadhana has taught us that you can do an entire Ganapati Puja using one mantra. Om Gam Ganeshaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha Avahanam Samarpayami. Gam Ganeshaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat. Gam Ganapate Namaha Avahanam Samarpayami. Gam Ganeshaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Asanam Samarpayami. Gam Ganeshaya Vakratundaya Padhyam Samarpayami. Same thing you can do for 16 steps. That's what the Sri Vidya people do. Srim Hrim Klim Glam Gam Ganapate Varvara Sarvajname Vajmane Swaha Dhyanam Samarpayami. Srim Hrim Klim Glam Ganapate Varvara Avahanam Samarpayami. Srim Hrim Asanam Samarpayami. That's how they do it. Fast forward. That's how they do it. Right? One mantra, do it. Or if that's too long for you, Om Gam Ganapataye Namah Avahanam Samarpayami. Om Gam Ganapate Namah Asanam Samarpayami. Om Gam Ganavete Padhyam Samarpayami. Om Gam Ganavis. The whole works. One mantra you can use. Mrityunjaya Puja is when you do Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Vandana Mrityor Mokshayamamritaate. Om Namah Shivaya Dhyanam Samarpayami Namah. Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukmeva Vandana Mrityor Mokshayamamritaate. Om Namah Shivaya Avahanam Samarpayami. Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Asanam Samarpayami. You understand? Same thing. That's called Mahamrityunjaya Puja. The whole thing you do with puja. But he was advised to leave his home and go to a place called Prabhasa Kshetra and worship Shiva using the Mahamrityunjaya mantra. Why is it important to go to a place to do a puja? And you come home and do a puja, no, same thing. No. A place that is consecrated, that is designed for doing that puja, is important for you. Monday coming in Canada here, Monday coming is August Monday, holiday in Canada. We are doing Ekadash Rudra Puja here. I'm inviting the entire community to come out from 2 p.m. that day. The Rudram will be chanted 11 times. And after that, Chamakam. 11 times plus Chamakam constitutes a Rudram. The Lord will take bath 11 times that day. These things mean something to us. These things help us to heal. These things help us to uplift. These things help us to change our lives in a positive direction. I'll be here for all of them. You can be here for some, doesn't matter, but I'll be here because these things help us to deal with, Mrityunjay means victory over death. But what is death? People feel that when you chant the Mrityunjay mantra, you will defeat death. No, death is not when the prana leaves your body alone. Death is not when you lie in the coffin alone. There's a lot of people in this world who are breathing, but they're dead because they can't do anything good. Yesham na vidyana tapo nadanam. This is my first shloka I learned in poetry when I was a little boy. Chanak Niti. Everybody know Chanak Niti? He's a Bhartfades poet. Yeah, you guys have, Bhartfades. Really good. Chanakya Niti. You can Google, you can look him up and so on. Yesham na vidyana tapo nadanam na chapi shila na guno na dharma te marutya loke bhuvibhara bhutam manushya rupe mrigacharanti. What the details us? Yesham na vidya. If a person is walking this earth, but they lack knowledge, they do not seek upliftment every day. Right? It's just like the animals. That sometimes the tiger think more than people. The cockroach think more than people. If we're going to live at that level of the animals, then we are not elevated beings. He says, Yesham na vidya. A person who does not embrace knowledge. Yesham na vidya. Na tapo nadanam. Who does not do tapasya. Tapasya, like we are doing here for a whole month and something. Yesham na vidya. Na tapo. A person who do not do danam, who do not give charity. Na chapi shila na guno na dharma. A person who do not have manners and who do not have guno na dharma, who do not have good conduct. You know this word manners? This word manners, somebody said get manners. The old people used to tell you that, by get manners. Manners mean speak when you're supposed to speak. Do what you're supposed to do. Don't interfere. Just have manners. Say hello. Say hi. Say sitaram. Say namaste. These things don't cost us anything. Nachapi shila na guno na dharma. A person who don't have all of this, te martya loke bhuvibhara bhutam. He said that those people are walking this earth as living dead. They are just walking on this earth without any life. Manushya rupe mrigacharanti, and they're occupying space on this earth. He was very brutal. Chanak Niti, oh boy, brutal. His couplets or poetry or whatever he wrote, brutal. He told you as it was. So death is not escaping the coffin or the casket or the pyre. Death is defeating the slumberness we are living in. When we are slumber and we're spreading germs and diseases and negativity, we're dying. Don't worry about sick people. When people are ill, that's a physical form of illness, brings them a lot of pain and so. But a lot of them are more in good spirits than people who are having good health. Right? So don't become dying while you have good health. Have good manners and so on in your life. And so what happened? He was dying, and they asked now, how can we relieve him? They said, do Mrityunjay Puja. So he went to Prabhas Chetra, Sati Devi went as well, and got the mantra, and they start to do sadhana. Chandrena cha tapasaptam, shanamasam cha nirantaram, Mrityunjayena mantrena pujito vrishabhadvajam. Chandra, he performed the adoration to Bhagavan Shiva, reciting the Mahamrityunjay mantra, and performed tapasya for 6 months continuously. 6 months. Because he wanted to cure this disease of dying. Well, Shankar Bhagavan felt delighted and appeared in front of him and says, ask for a boon that you desire, I shall bestow it to you. The moon god Chandrama says, in case you're pleased with me, then no task of mine can remain unsuccessful. Kindly remove this ailment from me. Kindly forgive me for my sins and bestow welfare on me always. Shivji says, Daksha's curse has to happen. But what I can do, Shiva, Daksha did not like him already. So the Lord says, I cannot reverse his curse, but what I can do, I can put you on my head, right? Whatever I put on my head, it will never die. I can put you on my head, and from Purnima, starting, you will have full life. The moon will have full life. And for 2 weeks, you will slowly lose your fullness. For 2 weeks, you will slowly lose your fullness from Purnima to Amavasya. And from 2 weeks after that, you will slowly regain your fullness. You will slowly lose your fullness, and you'll slowly regain your fullness. And he says, in this way, only in this way, you cannot escape this, but only in this way, I will save you. And then Chandrama accepted. The Lord placed Chandrama on his head. When he did that, Brahma and Vishnu came from the heavens. And they says, Mahadev, you have given back life and have rescued the dying moon. And because of that, all of them felt happy with Shiva. And they said, Dhanyo yam kritatya krotyam yanam namya shankaram swayam stitascha jagato nata pavayan jaga tiladam. Successful in the moon is the moon with its desires. Besides being graceful with the name of whom Shiva, the Lord of the universe, purifying the earth, is lodged here. What did they do? They came down now and they established Brahma and Vishnu, consecrated a lingam in the name of Shiva. And that is called the Somanath Jyotirlingam. That is in a place called Saurashtra in the state of Gujarat in India. And that's why we sing Someshwara Shiva Someshwara Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Someshwara Shiva Someshwara Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Hare Someshwara Shiva Someshwara Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Someshwara Shiva Someshwara Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Oh Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya. That is the first of the Jyotirlingam that was ever consecrated on this earth. It was consecrated by Brahma Bhagwan and Bhagwan Vishnu. If you go there today to see that lingam, those who see that lingam written in our Shiv Puran, immediately they become purified. But when you leave the lingam and you come outside, you may tend to get impurified after that. It's up to you. This is the challenge of life. Shiv Bhagwan says, put a Bilva Patra on me, 3 birth of sins are washed away. But when we leave the temple and we go outside, we put on our head again another 3 birth of sins. You've got to be careful that the Lord has given us so many avenues to cleanse. So many avenues to cleanse and to become pure. But when you leave, don't become impure again consciously. What they did, they dug a kund of water, a small lake of water. If you go there, the first thing you have to do before you get the darshan of Somnath is you have to bathe in this pool of water. It is called Chandrakunda. Chandrakunda. There are 2 such powerful body of water in India, Ganga and so on, yes. But when you go to Rameshwaram, before you go have the darshan of Bhagwan Rameshwar, you have to go bathe in the river called Agni Kunda, Agni Tirtha. That is where Ram Bhagwan took a shower, took a bath before he went to Ravana. Agni Tirtham. After you bathe there, you go and you see, you take 21 wells of bath, then you go see Rameshwar Bhagwan. In Somnath, in Saurashtra, you go and you take, remember that is Agni Kund, Agni Tirtha, the lake of fiery energy, burns away your impurity. When you go to this one here, this was consecrated by Bhagwan Brahma and Shiva. You take a bath there in the Chandrakund, and what happens? It came to be known by the name of Chandrakund. Tatra snanati naroyaha. Tatra, whoever takes a bath in the Chandrakund is freed of all their sins. All their sins. Not 3 janam, 4 janam, all the sins. And this is what the book is saying. Okay? What the book is saying. Freed of all your sins. Again, you can be freed of all your sins. Don't make the mistakes again in life. It's very important to understand. By taking a bath in the Kund continuously for 6 months, the incurable disease like the consumption and other diseases are removed. By circumambulating the Prabhashetra, one earns the fruit of going around the earth. Now we want to travel around the world. The other day somebody told me, hey Panaji, when you take us to India, I want to go to Mandir, 108 Mandir. I said, hey, start coming to your own Mandir 108 times. Then we're going to carry you to India to see 108 Mandir. Mandir, they're right here in Brampton. Nobody no want to come. We want to go 108 Mandir in India. Start coming your own Mandir, and whoever is watching, all the people, Facebook, YouTube, and all of us here, go to your own Mandir 108 times. That is your sadhana. Don't go 108 Mandir in India. Come on your own one 108 times. Then we will carry you in. Right? When the week is done, I'm probably here 108 times already. Anyways, so what happens? A person in the sight of Somnatha Linga is relieved of all their sins. I have shared this experience so many times that when we went to Somnath, we took that beautiful group there. We sat in the temple, uninstructed, without any rules. We broke all the rules because that's me. Go there and Pujari says, look and go on, look and go on. We say, okay, all right. I took 21 people and sat in the temple and we start, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Temple was quiet, empty, us sitting there alone. Everybody started to cry. 15, 20 minutes, Om Namah Shivaya, Somesh. We're glorifying Bhagavan Somnath. And the Pujari couldn't take it anymore. He himself felt so much bhakti. You know what he did? He went on the lingam on top of Somnath Bhagavan's head. There was Bilva Patra and Chandan, because that's the rule. You have to put Chandan and Bilva Patra. He took the Chandan and the Bilva Patra from the head of Bhagavan Somnath and he bring it to the guard. He said, go give those people. And the guard brought it. The guard brought it. And I took some, put it on my forehead, and I passed it around, give everybody. People were in tears. It's a place of joy. Clean. It's right by the Arabian Sea. Beautiful. I hope next year things turn around a little bit and we can go a little bit to do a little pilgrimage and thing in India. Not sightseeing, pilgrimage, because save up your money, people. You know, eat less, buy less things and so, because it's a little expensive to get there and back. But, you know, it's worth it all. You know, people want to travel around the world, but we don't want to pray to the Lord who has created that world, right? First thing people say, me win the lotto, me travel around the world. You know what is written here? Let me read them to you. By circumambulating, prabhasam cha, I'm going to quote the verse for all the Gyani watching. Prabhasam cha paritramya prithivrikrama sambhavam phalam prapnoti shuddhatma mrita swarge mahiyate. By circumambulating the Prabhakshetra, one earns the fruit of going around the world. Forget about going around the world, that you'll forget. Doing a circumambulation among Somnath Bhagavan is equivalent to going around the world, because he is the world. He is the world. A person at the sight of Somnath is relieved of their sins, and so on. One who visits the place of pilgrims undoubtedly achieves the appropriate fruits. Some of us may never be blessed to go to Somnath because it's India, whatever, you know, circumstances. But in every lingam, is your Somnath. I taught people how to chant the Dwadash Jyotirlingani. Saurastre Somanatham cha, then two little one this evening. Saurastre Somanatham cha, take your flowers. Sri Sailaya Mallikarjanam, Ujjayenyam Mahakalam Kale Malaysianam Palinyam Vyajnatham cha, Dakinyam Bhimishankalam Setu Nitarabhisham Nagesham Darukavane, Paranasyam to Vishwesham, Trambakam Gautamidite, Himalaya to Kedaram Grishmesham cha, Shivalaye. When you pray to your lingam and call him Somnath, he becomes Somnath. Because Shivji is not limited to one place. Shivji is not limited to one space. Shivji is not limited to one name. Shivaji is the source of this creation. Worship him and the world will follow you. And that is the Somnath Bhagavan. Everybody came down from the heaven, the ascetics, gods, and they bowed to Somnath Lingam. They felt delighted. Itite Rishayo Deva Phalam Drishta Tadha Vidhan. They offered salutation to the Shivalinga. They took the moon with them who had been relieved of ailment. They praised the place of pilgrimage. Beside taking a round of the same, the moon also engaged himself in this task. Sutji says, Iti sarvam samakhyata someshasya samudbhava. I've now narrated about Somnath, and I have said that whoever listens to the story of the creation of Somnath Lingam or recites it to others, he, getting relieved of his sins, achieves success in all his desires. End of the chapter. And so that is the story of Bhagwan Somnath, how the moon, from the full moon, became a crescent moon. Another story I heard Raghavacharya narrating this katha once, a saint from Ayodhya. He said, you know what this katha tells us in summary here? That we, all of us, Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate. There's a mantra from the Purana. Purnamada, that is full. Purnam idam, this is full. Purnatya Purnamudachyate. The full has come from the full. I'm going to confuse the life out of you right now. Purnamada, that is full. Purnam idam. Purnat Purnamudachyate. This, the full has come from the full. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Although you take the full from the full remains the full. What does that mean? It means if you have a full bottle, a full barrel of water, you take that full barrel of water and you fill another barrel of water. That barrel of water becomes full. This barrel of water that comes from remain full. The full remains full. What does that mean? This is God, Purnam Ada, Purnam Idam, and we are Idam. We have come from that God. He is God, and we are God as well. We're not children of God. If He's God and we have come from Him, we are God. Problem is, even the Vedas tells us that Tattvam Asi, Aham Brahmasmi. These are the words of the Vedas. Right? If you look at the four proverbs of the Vedas, Tattvam Asi, you know, thou art that. Thou art that. You are that. What is that? Bhagwan. You are Bhagwan. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. I am divine. So, realize that you're divine and be a divine being instead of a human being. A human being is subjected to the flaws of life, of course. But be a divine being because that is what you are. Only when we mess up in life, I'm just human. I'm just human. When you're being glorified in life, you're not human then. When you mess up in life, I'm just human. No, you're not human. You are a divine being. All of you watching today and in the temple as well, the message you're taking today is that you are a divine being. Don't lose your fullness. Don't lose your fullness because you have lost your way. The moon lost its fullness because he lost his way. Don't lose your fullness because you've lost your way. because you deserve better than that. Bole Mahapati Mahadev ki jai. Let's sing this song. I didn't see any bhajan requests come in. All the lovely people here on Facebook and YouTube and thing. Anyways, so nothing came in. I'm going to sing my own song. I want to sing this song dedicated to Auntie Darius and Mr. Balkisun. This is Babita's parents from the temple. They're celebrating life and happiness. A very joyful couple, of course. No stranger to any one of us. We want to wish them all the best and ask that Bhagwan Shivji's blessings be with them. I want to ask Bhagwan Shivji as well to bless the father of our dear sister Vidya Basiram. I offer special prayers for him this evening. He is not well, and I'd like to offer Bhagwan Shivji's blessings on him for allowing him to recover, and may his surgery be successful. Shiv ke mahima apar bhola, शिव के महिमा अपार भोला, जय शिव शंकर। 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 ओ शिव के महिमा अपार भोला, जय शिव शंकर। महिमा अपार भोला, जय शिव शंकर। हाथों भभूति तन में रमाए, हाथों भभूति तन में रमाए, बिछुरा बिछरवा अंग लपटाए, बिछुरा बिछरवा अंग लपटाए। घर में सर्पों का हार भोला, जय शिव शंकर। गले में सर्पों का हार भोला, जय शिव शंकर। शिव के महिमा अपार भोला, जय शिव शंकर। महिमा अपार भोला, जय शिव शंकर। शंभो भोलेनाथ भगवान की जय हो। नंदी बोयल पर कैले सवारी, नंदी बोयल पर कैले सवारी। दर्शन देदा तू है त्रिपुरारी, दर्शन देदा तो है त्रिपुरारी। भक्तन का यही पुकार भोला, जय शिव शंकर। भक्तन का यही पुकार भोला, जय शिव शंकर। शिव के महिमा अपार भोला, जय शिव शंकर। शिव के महिमा अपार भोला, जय शिव शंकर। तोहरी जटाओं में गंगा विराजे, तोहरी जटाओं में, तोहरी जटाओं में गंगा विराजे। कर में त्रिशूल भाल चंद्र विराजे, कर में त्रिशूल भाल चंद्र हो साजे। आदिदेव ओंकार भोला, जय शिव शंकर। आदिदेव ओंकार भोला, जय शिव शंकर। शिव के महिमा अपार भोला, जय शिव शंकर। शिव के महिमा अपार भोला, जय शिव केवा प्यासी नजरिया तोहरे दरस केवा केवा प्यासी नजरिया हर घर कांपेला हमरो कजरिया हर घर कांपेला हमरो कयरिया ललता भैले लचार भोला जय शिव शंकर ललता भैले लचार भोला जय शिव शंकर ओ शिव के महिमा पार भोला जय शिव शंकर शिव के महिमा पार भोला जय शिव शंकर बम बम भोला नाचे नट राजा बम बम भोला नाचे नट राजा ओ बम बम भोला नाचे नट राजा बम बम भोला नाचे नट राजा ओ नाचे नट राजा नाचे नट राजा शंभो शंभो नाचे नत राजा अरे बम बम भोला नाचे नत राजा 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 ओ नाचे नत राजा शंभो नाचे नत राजा नाचे नत राजा शंभो नाचे नत राजा ओ नाचे नत राजा शंभो नाचे नत राजा नाचे नत राजा शंभो नाचे नत राजा ओ नाचे नत राजा बम बम भोला नाचे नत राजा बम बम भोला नाचे नत राजा अरे बम बम भोला नाचे नत राजा बम बम भोला नाचे नत राजा ओ नाचे नत राजा नाचे नत राजा नाचे नत राजा नाचे नत राजा उमापति महादेव की जय all those who have prasad please bring it up now and want to take darshan and archana and so on please come up now and while that's happening we'll have thank you everyone for joining us this evening in house and online a lot of people logging on tonight Bhagwan's blessings to all of you you can join us every night we start satsang 6:45ish and I start katha at about 7. We're here every single night. This is 2 weeks now we're here continuously in the temple doing Abhishekam and Puja. And you can join us in person as well for the satsang. We have people in the temple. This time I'm so very happy that people chose to come out and be online as well. Please join us on Monday evening for our Monday during the day for Ekadash Rudram. And Saturday, by the way, Saturday we're doing a Rot Darshan. Rot Alankar, which means we're decorating Lord Shiva with Rot. Please talk to us and tell us how many Rot you're bringing, because if you don't tell us, we won't know. I don't want 2 people show up with 2 Rot. I want a lot of people show up with a lot of Rot. They must be 4 inches diameter. 4 inches diameter. Right? So bring them out, but you have to tell us that you're bringing it out, so we'll cater for you. We'll have bhajans now where we do Archana and Prasadam.
तेरा पल पल बीता जाए मुख से छप ले नमः शिवाय तेरा पल पल बीता जाए मुख से छप ले नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय तेरा पल पल बीता जाए मुख से छप ले नमः शिवाय चोरी चले अकिया तन मन साथ नहीं जाए मुझसे जप ले नमः शिवाय तन मन साथ नहीं जाए मुझसे जप ले नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय तेरा पल पल बीता जाए मुझसे जप ले नमः शिवाय तेरा पल पल बीता जाए मुझसे जप ले नमः शिवाय ओम 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 नमः शिवाय चन्द्रशेखराय नमः चन्द्रशेखराय नमः गङ्गाधराय नमः गङ्गाधराय नमः चन्द्रशेखराय नमः चन्द्रशेखराय
यानि कानि च पापानि जन्मान्तरकृतानि च तानि सर्वाणि नश्यन्तु प्रदक्षिणां पदे पदे शिव ओंकार
स्वामी हरि शिव ओंकार जय शिव ओंकार स्वामी हरि शिव ओंकार ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिव ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिव हरि
करुणावतारम् संसारसारम् भुजगेन्द्रहारम् सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव करचरणकृतं वा कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वा पराधं विहितम् अविहितं वा सर्वमेतत्क्षमस्व। जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शम्भो। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनां सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय। ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। बोले गणपति भगवान की, नवग्रह देवता की, गुरु महाराज की, पवन सुत हनुमान की, सियाबुज रामचंद्र की, लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की, राधा कृष्ण भगवान की, गंगा मैया की, यमुना मैया की, सूर्य नारायण स्वामी की, सत्यनारायण स्वामी की, सरस्वती माता की, महालक्ष्मी माता की, जगदम्बिका दुर्गा माता की जय। नव दुर्गा माता की जय। नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव शंभो। सत्य सनातन धर्म की, सनातन धर्म की, सनातन धर्म की। सबको ये जय जय सीताराम। Jai Sitaram everyone. Have a blessed night. Please take pictures before you go after we do our video. And of course take prasad, arti. By the way, the white over the lingam tonight, that is boiled rice. That is nothing else but boiled rice because of Amavasya. The Lord is decked with beautiful boiled white rice. It's very beautiful. And please be silent for 1 minute, not because anybody is dead. We need to do a video. Thank you.